So, I don't know if I'm going to post this video or not, but I've been thinking about this idea for a while. And regardless if this is going to be just a personal journal entry, just in a vlog form, or something I would share, perhaps later on in my journey when I feel more comfortable with that. But regardless, I just wanted to open up about what has been plaguing me and being sort of the central tenet to my issues in trading specifically. I've taken some quick notes on the idea, and really, the biggest problem for me was not being honest with myself and meeting myself where I'm at. Now, what do I mean by that? For example, I've posted several videos and I was saying, oh, like this is the plan. The plan was at that point to just tape read and paper trade, which means pushing buttons. And later on, I realized that, well, first of all, pushing buttons shouldn't be the goal at that point, in my point in the journey. And second of all, I wasn't really quite frank with all of you and myself, because I wasn't just doing paper trading, I was doing funded challenges, or I guess one of those top step account exams where you have to pay a monthly fee and then you basically have to pass with making a certain amount of profit. But that itself has brought a enormous amount of pressure onto myself, and I've done it myself, because all of that resulted in me wanting to rush to pass that challenge instead of really focusing on my own routines and processes and just becoming the person that you need to be to maintain that ability to trade and analyze price consistently and be profitable in that. So instead, this was my biggest problem and biggest adversity, is that I was rushing, and that was the root cause of other symptomatic issues that came to be, like, for example, rushing into trades impulsively, or maybe brushing some things off in price action when I saw certain signatures in price. Let's say if I was not attached to the outcome, for example, every time you trade and you are putting money or even just your own ego on the line when you're trying to be right early on, at early stages of your development, when you force yourself to be right, that is the worst thing you can do, because then you put your ego on the line, you put your understanding on the line, and you put yourself into this really rigid form of mental state where you need to be right, you need to make money, and that by no means helps you to learn, really. So after I realized that was probably week of I'd say October 21st, maybe the week before that. I canceled my subscription the week before that, and from then onwards I was just tape reading price. And this is kind of what I'm getting to, is my desired outcome with this, I guess, with this change in my journey, is that my desired outcome is to remove and alleviate that pressure that I've inflicted on myself by myself, by removing any need to be right, by removing any need to make money. All I have to do right now is to show up every day, read the price. I don't have to be right, and that's what I've been drilling into my mind every time I read price action live. I'm observing price. That's all I'm doing. So there's no direct cause for me to be impulsive or fearful of being wrong, or feeling FOMO or greed in that scenario, because I'm not attaching myself to the outcome. I can be more flowing, more relaxed, because I need to know before anything, before button pushing, before ever trying to do one of those funded challenges again, before ever wanting to, let's say, make money from this, I need to become comfortable in understanding and anticipating what is going to happen in price. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm just going to be focusing on tape reading. I don't know if I'm not yet sure if I'm going to be sharing that yet or not. I definitely want to also simplify my approach a little bit more. I found that naturally, when you're learning ICT, you just tend to, especially if you're of that mindset where you are you're more of an overthinker, or you're trying to control every single thing, you are more likely to lean towards putting everything into the mix and then confusing yourself in the long run. So the goal would also be simplifying the approach and just sticking to the same process over and over, and really journaling your emotions when I'm reading the price. Because I've always kind of misunderstood what Michael meant by positive self-talk and just kind of sugarcoating. I've always just kind of given cold hard facts or observations in my notes when I was recording price. Like, for example, this imbalance here is something that price can draw towards, or buy side above this swing high could be something that price can draw towards instead. But I never really, looking back, I never really looked at price moves that have unfolded already, went through them, and said something along the lines of how much I liked how price did this or that. And yeah, that is more of a nitpicky observation, I guess, that I have for myself. But besides that, I've been really kind of going through the motions of practicing and going through the 2024 mentorship. I'm probably on like episode 5 because I've restarted it, and I'm taking notes a little more diligently and trying to really have that information be digested in my mind before I just go on to the next video. And yeah, I've been tape reading this last week hasn't been that much of tape reading. I've been very busy, and this is kind of another thing I've noted. I really need to knuckle down on my life outside of the charts, because it really translates into the markets and who you are entering those markets. Because if you don't have your act together in your daily life or your personal life or whatnot, it's not really going to magically just put yourself, like, it's not going to magically work out when you enter the markets. It's actually, most of the time, it will either show you how terrible something is, or well, yeah, it's a call to action, really. Well, that's really all I have to say. It's very unstructured, this monologue, and yeah, that's all I have. I hope this helps anyone who's maybe in the same boat as me and feeling a little lost, whether in life or in learning this. But I'm really quite excited still, because without this journey, I would never even look at these things and consider their magnitude and how it affects your life and how much of a diametrically opposed outcome your life can take if you pursue this self-development. You gain this knowledge of, and you gain this awareness of self, where you find things that you need to unlearn, let's say, and fix the issues. Yeah, that's all. Be safe.